Welcome to the Drift. Hello, welcome to the Drift. This is your host, Grei. Nice to be here. We're just warming up the streams and going to do some mic check and make sure this is all working for everybody. So thanks for tuning in. Hope you can hear me. I know I'm bending over a little bit, just in case. But love you all again. Thanks for tuning in and being with us for your Tuesday night. Oh yeah, over here.
volume, pump up the volume, pump up the volume. Dance.
Whoa, that's the volume. Hello, check. All right. Well, everybody, welcome to the Drift. Joe's Grei. We're gonna see if we can get this mic all worked out. So, hope you enjoyed that. That was like a little taste of my last mix that I was doing. It was with the. Here's what I'll do. Do this because I know. I'm gonna turn this down. I know everybody's here for music, so I want to try to keep that real. Let's see what we can do. Turn this up a little bit. Oh yeah, amateur hour. Now, so right now we're working on some new studio stuff. So I guess for now, what I'll do is I'll just keep that muted. If everybody can hear me, please let me know. It's a pleasure to be here. Again, welcome to Spoondrift Radio. In the studio today, we actually have Jen Woolfe.
Ooh.
So, yeah, we're right up in there,
Great.
somewhere in there.
This one.
This one.
Camera 1, camera 2.
Yeah, camera 1, camera 2, camera
Great.
3. So we got a few cameras in the studio today. So.
There's a lot of cameras.
Yes, but right now we're just here.
Cool.
Cool. Well, yeah, let us know if you can hear us. Again, we're just trying out some new things here, new configurations. So
Raise some hands.
yeah, raise some hands.
Mhm.
Let's see if we do this. We'll just go like this, and a little closer. All right. I know you guys can hear me when I'm like this, but I don't want to be hunched over. It's not attractive. So, but yeah. So that was. I've been working on my new mix that I just put out, Earth. You can look it up on hearthis.at/GreiLogic. Also, Grei Music, which is where you find out about us and Spoondrift Radio. Again, I have Jen here from Seattle.
Seattle.
Yeah.
Yeah, back in Seattle.
Back in.
Yep.
Have you always been?
Ridge. Yeah. No, I grew up here. Grew up in the DJ world here, and then what?
Oh, thanks. No, he's saying it sounds good.
He's saying good.
Yay.
Grew
Cool.
up in the DJ world here, and then went on an adventure for about 8 years. Was living in San Francisco. Was living in Moab, Utah. Was running around all over the place, and I just got back about 2 years ago.
Yeah.
So Seattle back in Seattle.
Cool. What were you doing? What were you doing out there?
In
Moab?
San Francisco, I was just living some music, getting a feel of a new town. In Moab, I decided that San Francisco was had too many awesome people doing too many awesome things, and it was keeping me from doing my awesome things. So I went out to Moab, Utah for about 2.5 years, off and on, but mostly on, and spent most of my time learning how to write my own dance music.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
So you've been because I saw that you had a couple of releases here with
True.
like you've been working on some stuff, right?
Been
like,
working on some stuff. I just finished my 13th track.
Dope.
Put that out on SoundCloud, SoundCloud/Jen Woolfe. And yeah, that one took about 7 weeks, so they're coming out really fast, a lot faster. I do have 2 things out on Beatport that,
awesome.
Yeah, I do have 2 tracks out on Beatport that have been out in the world. Mm-hmm. One of them is a song everyone probably hates. It's called Seattle Maybe.
Is that like Chance of Rain or something?
It's not like Chance of Rain. It predates Chance of Rain. But, yeah, it's a little ditty about just the flakiness of the Seattle dance community, which, by the way, is also true in Moab. And it's also true in San Francisco, so it's not really a Seattle thing.
How do you mean, like, so when you say, like, flaky, do you mean just, like, as far as, like, people not following through with, like, bookings, or as far as, like, are
no,
people
not at all.
coming out for shows?
I think it was more like people not coming out to shows.
Coming out to
yeah,
shows,
this is
okay.
early days. This is like early 2009.
Got it.
It's not even my poem. It's somebody else's poem, but I thought it was super cool.
Yeah.
And I put it out, and it's cute. But it's it's just a little. You should definitely check it out on SoundCloud. On Beatport. If you haven't heard it yet, but yeah, it just talks about how tough it is to get people to come out.
Right.
But honestly, in the last 5 years here in Seattle, it hasn't been that tough. The community has just, gotten so much more people, and people can go out a lot more. I think it was just a tough time for people to go out, and so the song sort of came out of that. But it's tongue in cheek, just like anything. And it's
you have a lot of that. Like I think you saw. I was listening to something about like horses and.
Is it the Pony Show?
The Pony Show.
Right, Pony Show. That's tongue in cheek too.
It's dope. You should check it out on our SoundCloud.
True.
I'll be posting some links and such.
Yeah.
But have you always been? So what do you produce with? Like, how do you make music?
Yeah, I use Ableton for most of my arrangement and mastering, or at least the mix downs, and then I use Reason actually to do a lot of my sounds. So I use them together.
Wow.
Yeah, it's pretty intense. And I go back and forth based on things. Like, I learn how to do something in Ableton, and then I'm like, yeah, but I like Reason better for it. And I'm like, yeah, but now Ableton has this thing. And so I sort of hop back and forth. And it really depends on what genre you're doing. Some bass lines are easier in Ableton, and some of them you want more layers. So I use Reason for that. And yeah.
Especially with like kind of like what tools you want to use, because like I guess because Reason could be more modular. Like I imagine it's more like you're plugging in wires. Like it tries to be more visual approach versus like Ableton might be more of a writing aesthetic, right? And then, but of course, yeah, each one offers different kinds of tools.
Yep, totally.
So
yeah, and Ableton does what Reason never could really do, which is made the sequencer, the arrangement view, like way more user friendly. And Reason has been trying to catch up for years to Logic and Ableton, and it's still kind of clunky. It's getting a lot better, but at the same time, Reason has all these like amazing plugins.
Yeah.
It's really just a big plugin rack. And it's all these amazing plugins. It has way too much stuff in it, and you can never get bored.
Yeah.
And the sounds are so like great. So Logic kind of mixes the two, but Ableton and Reason, when you use them together, you get like really good sound and really easy to use sequencer. And you have to make up for some stuff on the back end with Ableton, but
that's a good mastering too. Well,
some people master in it. Actually, the people I use for mastering are in Oakland.
Okay.
They're called Dark Star Mastering. They're amazing. I totally recommend them.
I think I've heard of them.
Yeah, very likely. Mac Vaughn does the label called Fierce Animals, which is a minimal techno label.
Right. Oh, cool. Yeah, I actually have some of their...
Oh,
I do.
yeah.
I've been getting some of their stuff lately.
Oh, man. They've been helping me since the beginning. They've been helping me for years. Yeah, they do all my mastering, so... and I know that Ryan and Bruce, who's Mac, they use Ableton. Or at least, for their mastering stuff.
Cool. So you've been making music for a while. Have it... How long have you been DJing then? I mean,
I've been DJing since before I was born.
Okay.
Jeez. No, maybe since before you were born.
Yes.
No, I've been DJing since 2002.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I've been DJing for 18 years.
Super.
Yeah.
Cool.
And I DJed for about 10 years, and then I was like, I want to write my own stuff. Yeah. And that's where I started on this journey. I guess it was 8 years.
How did you find electronic music then? How did you get into it? Like, I mean, did you just like want immediately you heard it and you wanted to pick up the gear and start DJing and do turntables? And
no, that's a great question. Well, so I started going out when I lived here, but I went out to San Francisco to visit some friends, and they showed me this crazy weekend. It was super fun. Came back to Seattle, and we started going out, and before, oh my gosh, was that Numos? Before Numos was Numos. I think it was the Aerospace. And I think I saw...
It was pretty cool back then. I mean,
yeah,
it was cool back then.
I'm just proving the whole 18 years thing.
Yeah.
No, so I went to Aerospace, I believe, and I saw Ben Watt of Everything But the Girl, and that was the first time I really knew that I was, like, listening. That was the first time house music really, like, grabbed me. It was like, this is your jam. Ben Watt. And I was listening to it, and I was like, what is this?
That's cool.
Yeah, and my friend at the time, Big Mama, we call her, she was like, this is house music. And so she was learning to DJ, and she had these two turntables that were terrible Gemini
were they
belt
play school?
drive.
Oh, no.
Yeah, no, they were belt drive. Gemini belt drive turntables. So she started teaching a few of us on those turntables, and then one of my friends decided that was ridiculous and went out and like spent $3,000 on like Techniques. And mixer and all the jam. Then we started buying records, and then we were, doing our DJ session. We called it like every week for almost 2 years. And then we started throwing parties, and then everything just took off.
Yeah.
And we just started playing a bunch.
That's cool.
Yeah.
No, that's awesome. I've been following you for years. Like,
sweet.
Just known throughout the some time, and
cool.
Because we started doing our parties back in about 2002.
Nice.
When we did environmental structures.
Great. Yep.
Our music wasn't getting played then, so we're like, well, we gotta throw the events, and then like instead of making music, I was like, well, either I gotta make music or do the events. So
yeah.
But that's awesome.
Exactly.
So,
that is kind of a switch off sometimes. Either you make music or you do events. And I used to do a house party at my house in Leshai called the Leshai Lounge, and it was amazing. And it was this after party. We wanted to connect people, and we did because there wasn't a lot going on at the time. Mm-hmm. But then after like almost 2 years, I was like, okay, I'm done. I'm over it. That's a lot. There's a lot to have people in your home from 2 a.m. to 9 a.m. Once a month, and I think I'm gonna like start doing music instead and just be my own self in my own home, and then maybe I'll get back to doing events once I can like whip out the kind of music I want to do. 10 years later, I can almost do that, and so
awesome.
Yeah.
Well, I have more questions.
Yeah.
So much,
totally.
But I mean, at the same time, we should probably get to play music.
All right.
But just one more. Well,
sure.
Two more.
Two more.
Two more questions, y'all.
Okay.
And I promise you'll have all the music in the world. So where do you get your inspirations from?
Ooh, that's a really good
Like,
question.
like in your beats or music, do you have like a source
For
of, like-
playing?
yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, like when you're into it and like.
You know, I'm gonna say that when I play, my inspiration comes from what type of vibe I think the event is gonna be. So I just played at Train Car House Party last Saturday.
Mhm.
That was
Oh,
like
cool.
so
Yeah.
awesome. I've been waiting to play that one because it's like, you know, just so it's just such a great night, and it takes a while to get on there. So I've been waiting for about 2 years, and as you know, going, I just like would feel it out. You know, what does it feel like? My friend Jason Moulton, who's one of the first people that I started DJing with back in the day, I knew he did a lot of like disco back then, and so I just like felt like what kind of like, you know, music and genre and feel do I want for that night? And so I'm gonna play at the PsyOps party, the PsyOps.
Cool.
For the first time ever, I'm gonna do a techno set.
Nice.
And I was there a couple weeks ago, and
More boots, less pants.
More boots, less pants. There might be a few pants.
A few
there might be
pants?
some shirts.
Okay.
Yeah,
All right, all right.
a little collar or two.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I dig it.
It's true. And I was in there, and I, you know, I would never play a song I don't like.
Yeah.
And I do listen to techno, and you know, not a lot of people know
Cool.
that. And I was like, you know, I think I could rock this room. Like, it feels really, I get the feel of it. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? So then when they booked me, I went out to Beatport, and I was like, you know, listening for songs that I felt would actually like be the kind of vibe. And for that one specifically, like, because I am generally like a house DJ,
Yeah.
I want to sort of ride the line between techno and house.
Okay.
A lot like J Flip does from Dirty Bird.
Okay.
But maybe not as like hip hop. She can like somehow she does this magic where she pulls hip hop out of her ass and all of that. I don't know how,
Oh,
but I'm
yeah.
gonna sort of like just wave back and forth on the house and techno and on the house and techno divide.
Cool.
And we'll see how it goes. I
Yeah,
don't know.
Totally.
Who knows?
So you got that coming up, and
Cool.
then you said that you had another event too. So that's a PsyOps. That's actually this
Oh, yeah.
Friday. $10.
This Friday.
Definitely check that out.
Yeah.
They always put a lot of heart and soul into it. And
Yeah.
It's kind of a cool room. But yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
I actually like. I'm really into the techno that they do there.
Cool.
So you should
Awesome.
definitely check it out. And then you had something else too.
So the next one in Seattle is actually June 2nd, and it's a fundraiser. It's an anti-gun fundraiser. Our friends Sebastian and Maya are putting it on. It's at
Okay.
this Studio 7,
Gotcha.
which is not generally an electronic venue, but it should be great for this event, and that one is going to be really good. And we need your support for the anti-gun legislation that's happening all over the country, and so they're doing the event here in Seattle. And so
Awesome.
I'm at least one of the artists. I'm not sure who else is playing yet, but
Cool. Well,
Yeah.
you're playing.
I'm playing. That's all I
what's
know.
up.
But
That's
I'm
all.
sure,
Yeah.
That's all I know. But I'm sure there will be lots of other people playing too.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sure you guys are gonna enjoy this. I really appreciate you coming to the
Yeah,
studio
thanks.
again.
It's awesome.
So,
All right.
Bad, please.
Cool.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Enjoy.
All right.
So I'll let her get on, and I'm gonna move over here.
Okay, I'll push a button or something,
Cool.
and then.
All right. Well, everybody, enjoy the drift. Thanks for sharing your night with us here on every Tuesday, 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Time.is if you ever need to know where you're at and what time we're starting. And we're gonna let it rip. Enjoy the drift, y'all. Peace.